My brothers and sisters in Christ, there's an old expression that says the longest distance is between the head and the heart. Speaking of the way before we get from our thoughts to, truly impacting, settling in our heart. Our thoughts and our feelings often are well distanced, our reason from our emotional response. But the irony is that if the longest distance is from the head to the heart, how funny it is that seemingly the shortest distance is from the head or the heart to the tongue. And this is the theme we hear about in today's first reading from the letter of James, that we must be quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to anger. When we think about how much anger there is in the world today, not just in the big things, but even the little things, that people are quicker to anger, the fuses are shorter, and these things that James lists go together. If you've ever been part of a conversation or people debating each other, an argument, whether angry or collected, but at some point you realize, and we've probably all been guilty of this, that while one person is speaking, the other really isn't listening to them speak, but is using the time while they speak to already formulate their rebuttal or their counter-argument. And so what happens is this just never-ending projecting of self in the mind, the opinion, but there's never any reception, there's never any hearing. And so we can be very quick to fly off the handle, to respond in anger or with a harsh or unkind word without ever encountering or hearing another person. And so the quickness of our tongue compared to the slowness in which we receive in the ear and the head and the heart. It's a problem for us. And this contributes to the sense of anger that divides us all the time. And so, of course, the first thing to say is that we need to be quicker to hear. Bite our tongue, listen to the other. Doesn't mean we'll always have our mind changed or agree, but to actually hear the other person, to allow ourselves to hear before we speak. But second of all, to realize how quick of a trigger we often have. And I think today the rise of the internet, social media have contributed to this. A lot of the time, our communications are faceless. They've removed human elements, even body language and the rest from it. So whether it's an email, a post on Facebook, certainly Twitter is terrible about it. It's quicker when we're not looking at another person in the eye. We're quicker to be harsh or to, in a sense, dehumanize the other person. And all of this contributes to an air of anger, of distancing, of intolerance between us. And so, may we heed well the letter of James that says that we're far from God when the spirit of anger holds over us, because we make no room for the other, we make no room for God, we make no room for communion. And so, indeed, as he says, may we be slow, or I should say, may we be quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to anger. May God bless you.